Domk.
Are you serious?
Friday nights, 11 till midnight. Indie, local, rock, Domk.
All clear?
97.5 KMOD.
Now, welcome to the Domkcast. What's going on? It's Lunchbox. I got Promo Brady with me. Pretty big show happening tomorrow night.
Yes, it is.
BOK Center.
Big one.
Yeah, Perfect Circle. One of Maynard's bands coming to town. And this is another case where Maynard has waited so long to put something out with a Perfect Circle. It's been over 13 years.
Which, when you said that, I was like, has it been that long?
Yeah, 2004.
It's crazy it's been that long.
And Emotive was, it was more of a cover album.
Yeah,
they had a lot of cover songs like Depeche Mode. But yeah, over 13 years, man.
I don't even remember what I was doing 13 years ago. Jeez.
Well, the band actually was founded late 90s.
Yeah.
The founding member, Billy Howardell, came across Maynard in the late 80s when he was a guitar tech for Fishbone, Brady.
Which is a good band to be associated with, by the way.
One of the original ska bands.
Yes.
I think the first ska band, right? You can't find another ska band before
one
them.
of the ones that kind of took off before everybody else, yes.
Okay. Hey, remember this song? We played this on Domk before, right?
Yes, we have, because they played a show here.
A free show last year out of Guthrie Green.
That's junior high right there.
Can you imagine like that band's sound compared to Perfect Circle? It's like apples and oranges. Both of them are awesome.
It's one of those things like Maynard has so many different outlets and so much going on in his head that he just can't stick to one thing.
Yeah.
Because I was reading an article saying that the reason why he started a Perfect Circle because Tool albums take so long to make, as we all know now. And they're so tedious. There's so much that goes into them. As you can tell when you listen to them, it's like something you don't make up in a day. So he said, I get so bored, I have to go out and do other things while they're doing what they need to go do. So that's why he started Persifer and a Perfect Circle, because he needs to keep busy. He just can't sit and just do nothing.
Yeah, I complain a lot during my afternoon show about the length and time between a Tool album and a Perfect Circle. But when you see it from his perspective, the guy's got a family, and it's a very tedious process, and I get it.
He has a lot of things going on, which is crazy. That's why there's so much time between, because Billy said that this new album is supposed to hit sometime this November.
Yeah.
The latest will be next spring for this new Perfect Circle album. It would have been way sooner, but they have to work around Maynard's schedule, which he has Tool, Persifer. He has a winery. He just wrote a book. He has a family. He does jujitsu. I mean, you name it, he's doing it.
Oh, gosh, man.
So he's always busy. So he said it took like a year to chip away at his schedule just to get the tour on the road. And he was sending songs to Maynard, I think back a couple of years now. Since 2010, they've been working on songs back and forth to make this album. 2010.
They've all been doing it in their home studios. Like they record their part just in their house, and then they're trying to compile it all together, which I think is an interesting way to come up with
songs. Which is a weird way to do it,
songs.
but he says, this is the way we do it. I do my part, he does his part, we get together when we can, we play them together, so we go, and then we just keep moving slowly that way.
I like the fact that Maynard has different identities for each band. Like with Tool, he's bald. Mm-hmm. With the Perfect Circle, he puts on a wig.
Yes.
He's like a different persona. Even you were saying like during the live shows, like during the Tool shows, he kind of stays back. The band is more of the focus, and then he does some weird stuff at a Perfect Circle shows. I know Lynn Hernandez said he was in a shadow box the last time.
He's always mixing it up because he gets so freaking bored. I would do the same thing probably. Oh, good Lord, it's crazy. But I think if I was Maynard and I have all this stuff going on, I would have to do something, like your Outlook's all charted out, your Google Maps and like where you're going. I mean, it's hard to be Maynard, I would think.
He's obviously a genius when it comes to songwriting. And I don't know what to think about Pussifer. I like it.
I listened to a podcast with him on it, and he said Pussifer started off like as a comedy thing, which I'm thinking, you don't think of comedy with Maynard. But when you watch the videos for Pussifer and see them live, you get it. Like he used to start off in his comedy club with like Jim Garofalo, and he was down there with Tenacious D. I mean, he knew all these comics growing up back when he first started Pussifer, and they would close out this comedy show. It was either Tenacious D or Pussifer. They took turns closing this comedy show out. He said that's how he got into it. Just I had this comedy itch I wanted to scratch, so I did this and it evolved in what it is now.
You kind of see that Arsonist, the latest single that Pussifer released, I think late last year.
Yeah.
And the music video that went along with that, it had a sort of a Godzilla character with a Trump face on it. There's satire going on.
You got the idea from watching a lot of Monty Python, is how we got the concept of doing Pussifer. How that came about, I don't know. He said either you get it or you don't. He said when they tour up in Europe, people get it because they know that dry humor, making fun of things, but you don't know they're making fun of it. Said when they did the last tour, which was like 2015, a couple years ago, when Money Shot came out, they had the whole luchador thing, wrestling, because he's really big into that. So he was going to film like background, like as they change between songs, how they usually do it, play it on a big screen and change out the things. But he said luchadors wanted to come out on the road with them and wrestle live while they did the show. So he said when he went to England, they had no idea what was going on because they don't get the luchador thing. So it's kind of like, I made this big joke and then nobody got it. He said he just kind of looked at it like, what the hell's going on?
Swing and a miss.
Yes. But he said that's the part about it. I love doing things that nobody gets. If you get it, cool with you. If you don't, it's all right. As long as I get it, that's what's important.
Billy Howerdale made the rounds. I mean, he started out as a guitar tech with Fishbone, but he also did some stuff with Nine Inch Nails, Smashing Pumpkins, put out 3 albums. It's been 13 years since another album. So hypothetically speaking, what if Tool or A Perfect Circle just got fed up? They're like, you know what? Screw it. We need a new lead singer. Who do you think could fulfill that role in either band? Let's start with Tool. Tool's a more fun one to kind of dissect.
There was that Sammy Hagar joke they did on April Fool's Day.
Yeah, it was brilliant. I fell for it hook, line, and sinker.
I was like, nah.
I'm reading the story, and I come because all I see is the headline: Sammy Hagar is being considered to front Tool, and I was like, what?
Yes.
Are you kidding me? Talk about apples and oranges. Things that you like, both of them, but just don't fit. Kind of like ginger and beer, but they don't fit
so
together.
Funny. That was so cool about it.
And just thinking about the rehearsals, thinking about the recording process with Sammy Hagar and the guys from Tool just makes me laugh. Like him up there going, we do like 55 or none of this parabola
stuff.
I
don't think he'll be down with like putting himself in black makeup and hiding in the shadows. I don't think Sammy Hagar is really good. He has to be in the front with his hair all curly and wiggling around in the wind. Doing that, no.
Like, here's some good vocals. This is back from the Van Hagar days. You guys listen to that? No? Oh, okay. All right.
I can't think of one person who actually has the mindset to think as crazy as Maynard to fill in for a band like Tool, because it's so
if you're going dark,
technical. It's really technical.
Obviously, maybe Manson.
I will give you that, but I think Manson would drive the other boys crazy, and they'll take like 2 shows and like, all right, you're out.
The other one I thought of was Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins.
I will give you that one. I don't know if he has the range in his voice right now to do it.
No.
Because Maynard like freaking screams that it hits it. And Corgan, I think he's lost it. He still sounds when he's like, singing, but not like when he back in the like zero, like, no, he can't do that anymore. Maynard's doing Tool and Perfect Circles out there doing whatever. And then vice versa. The guys in Tool are just doing, they're not always just sitting, but it's like, how much time do I get before I got to start doing this again? There's no timetable. There's no like, on this day we're getting back together. It's like whenever he feels like coming back, he comes back. Which I found out because Billy started Ashes Divide which I think was really cool.
Yeah.
Because Maynard was like, all right, I get this. I am taking way too long to make a Perfect Circle album. So I'm going to say this. I'm going to like put it on hold right now so Billy can go out and do whatever he wants because he's a very talented dude and everybody should appreciate what he can do. So until then, I'll let you know when I'm coming back, but here's Billy and Ashes Divide. So he does this for a while, which I didn't know this. He did everything on the album. He sang it, he wrote it, he played the drums, guitar, he did everything by himself.
Wow.
And then he has a band that plays it when they go on tour, which is the other dude that's in A Perfect Circle, Matt McJunkins. He's also in that band. And he's also in Eagles of Death Metal, so that's what he does for a living when he's not doing The Perfect Circle. And then James Ehud, he does whatever he kind of wants, I guess. But the one thing I think is really cool, he was in a band called, Tinted Windows. They had one album, and he was in a band with Taylor Hanson.
What?
Yes.
The
They
connection
played the first show was at the Canes, as a matter of fact, sold out like that. I didn't even get to see it.
No way.
Yeah, so when Hanson was here last time, they said, hey, you going to a Perfect Circle? I'm like, yeah, I'm not missing that. It's been forever. He's like, yeah, we're going to be there too. I'm like, oh, that's cool. He's like, yeah, we're going to go see James. I forgot about that. He's like, yeah, we're going to go see and hang out with him for a while. It's been a while since we've been together, so we're going to go hang out for him and then check him out and then probably stay for some of the show and then we're going to leave. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm like, are you guys going to do another album anytime soon? He's like, well, since they're doing this Perfect Circle thing, I really don't know when we're going to do it.
Funny how time goes along in terms of Hanson, obviously very popular, always have been here in town. I can remember a time where I worked for another radio station. We did a stage intro at the Canes Ballroom for Train. So I'm up there. I'm in my 20s, and at the time, I'd never met Hanson. So the only recollection I have of Hanson is Mbop, and that's not... sorry.
It's okay, but it was like 25 years ago when it came. 20, 25, something like that. Yeah.
So I'm like, really? I'm up here? So I introduce Train, but before I do that, I make a wisecrack on stage about like, shit, and we got Hanson after this, kind of sarcastic. And the crowd went nuts.
You can't do that,
like,
man.
No, I mean, like, they thought I was serious, and they were like cheering, like, yeah, Hanson. I was like, what? Oh my gosh. Of course, years later, I meet them because they're doing all the Hop Jam stuff, and I'm like, man, these guys are awesome.
They're some of the coolest dudes.
I kind of have a dude crush on
Taylor
Hanson. I mean,
yes,
that guy's
weird.
That guy's awesome.
Yes,
man.
they're very awesome, all of them. I was looking around about the new Tool album because of A Perfect Circle just now coming out with this one. I'm like, so when's the Tool album coming out? And I've read the internet is full with theories and rumors and everything. Only thing I know is on their Twitter account, they posted this picture. It's a picture of this outside amphitheater. On the grass, it's kind of embedded with the Tool logo, and it says 6/24. So everybody's speculating this is when the new Tool album is coming out.
June 24th of this year.
Now, Tool is in the talks with Spotify and Apple Music about having their music for the first time ever being streamed on a service. So they're thinking they're going to try to get this done first. That way, when the new album comes out, you'll be able to stream it and listen to it. It's not fact yet because everybody's like saying nothing about it.
Well, they're still recording from what I've read. They were recording in a studio, and Maynard didn't like it, so they had to find another recording studio with some more space for him.
More space for him to breathe. Who knows? Because Maynard also said this. He said, there are some difficulties in releasing new material from one of my side bands. Things I see can work out. There's a plan for them. And other things are roadblock. Now, since A Perfect Circle album is confirmed coming out and they're done, it's not that. And then Pussifer, they're not doing anything at all. So everybody's thinking, well, what's going on with the Tool album? Why is there roadblocks? What's going on? Nobody knows because nobody's saying nothing about it. So this 6/24 could mean the new album's coming out, or this is when we'll be able to stream our music, or maybe even both.
Man, it's 10 years for Tool, 13 years for A Perfect Circle. Hey, Brady, they're going to be playing new tracks tomorrow night.
I hope so.
From A Perfect Circle. They've been doing that with other shows on this tour. They had a show in Las Vegas. One of the new songs is called Feathers. One of the guys in the crowd, of course, everybody's recording it, puts it up on YouTube. Like the next day, it was yanked off before anybody really had a chance. By the time
I found it, it was gone.
I still don't know, what the song sounds like or anything like that, but
I just found this out too, that when 10,000 Days came out, their last album, YouTube was only a year old, Spotify didn't exist, and Apple was just about to release the first iPhone when that album came out. We're about to have iPhone number 10 in September. That's way too freaking long for an album.
Yeah.
When you put it that way, I was like, God.
The last time A Perfect Circle released a new album, I was 24 years old. I had a birthday bash over Twisters. It was like 2 bars ago. And tons of people were in this little bar. Cher Kamiko was there.
Oh, yes.
We had a signed band named Avion playing their hit smash 7 Days Without You. We made T-shirts for the events. It was a big success.
Big deal.
Haven't done anything for my birthday.
Big deal. Oh, man.
We'll find out if we get a new album from Tool and A Perfect Circle this year. It's looking more likely for A Perfect Circle.
Well, yes.
In November. You're going out to see A Perfect Circle tomorrow night at the BOK Center. Hopefully, this is the Domkcast.
Tulsa's Rock Station 97.5 KMOD.